Okay, hi. The time has come. It happened. Allie Rose Coe put out her apology. And, I didn't know if I was going to make a follow up video to this situation because I didn't know if there was going to be much more left to discuss. But her apology, it was interesting, to say the least. And people had a lot of reactions to it. And we're going to go through some of those reactions. We're going to go through the apology first, of course. First things first. And then we're going to look at some of the reactions. We will look at the petition for cancellation, which did go through, and I think which prompted her to put out her video and her apology, which isn't an apology, can we be really honest? But, it's it's something. It's there, I guess. And we will also go ahead and take a look at her merch line that she was hyping up as if it was going to be like the best thing ever when she first announced that she had received the trademark. Like it was ours. This is for the freaking girls, guys. It was not for the girls. But we'll look at the merch line. I don't think it's anything super cool to call home about, but you guys might feel differently. And as you can see, I am wearing my Wicked wearable that I made in anticipation of going to see Wicked this summer, which is happening today. It's happening today. So hopefully I can get this video recorded and then edited and then uploaded before I leave. That's my goal. If it doesn't happen, I'm sorry. That would probably mean it'll get uploaded tomorrow, which is Friday. So, hoping that it happens today. I know I promised the keychain video for this week, but more trademark stuff happened. So, that's what we're going with. No keychain video this week. It'll happen. Probably next week. Okay? Just believe in me. Okay? We're gonna do the keychain video. I promise. It'll happen. And I'm not gonna push it off forever, I hope. I'm trying really hard not to. So, I have to put my headset on so I can listen to the video, and then we will chat about it.
Hi, I want to talk about my trademark. First and foremost, the trademark is being surrendered. It is in the process of being filed right now to be abandoned. I want to say that it does take time for that to go through, so it's not going to show up automatically, but the paperwork has already been filed. But more importantly, I want to say I'm so sorry to every small business that I harmed in doing this. The decision was made more as like a business strategy decision than a human being decision.
A business strategy instead of a human being strategy?
And I take full accountability for that. That was entirely wrong on my end. I hear you, and I take that on the chin 100%. I want to clear up within the last week, I've seen a lot of screenshots and messages from people saying that I sent them a cease and desist, or I sent them a message on Etsy to remove any Hot Girls Read items. I want to say none of those came from me, because that was not my intent. I have not sent any of that since all this started. As for the Hot Girls Read apparel that I have on the shelves, it is currently up on my site with all profits being donated to 2 different charities, Room to Read and Read and Feed, which I also have linked in my bio. And I just want to say once again, I'm so sorry. This is my way of trying to right my wrongs that I do understand should not have been wrongs in the first place. And at the end of the day, I care most about community over anything when it comes to my business.
All right, my friends. Here we are. Okay? She makes the claim that this was a business decision and not a personal decision, which feels weird, first of all, because I don't know who would advise you to trademark a super common community phrase, but maybe don't listen to them. Maybe Google your phrase before you try to trademark it. But she also says she was not responsible for the cease and desists that people received. I'm not so sure I believe her. Like, maybe they didn't come from her, but it's possible that they came from, like, her team or people surrounding her. Either way, they're still connected to her. I'm not a huge Allie fan. Okay? Let's keep that in mind, right? Because of all this situation. I didn't even know who she was before this. Are you kidding me? No one knew who you were, girlfriend. You're the one who gave yourself a bad name. No one knew who you were. No one knew who you and your little Canva products were. I'm sorry. Hate to break it to you, sister. Yeah, so she says it was a business decision and it wasn't personal. And then she says that she wasn't the one who did the cease and desist. Now, here's the thing that doesn't make sense. If this wasn't personal, why are we trademarking it? Because you made it personal by trademarking a phrase that everyone is using and that everyone has merch for and all this stuff. You know, like, if it wasn't personal, you wouldn't have trademarked it. Let's be honest. It was personal. You didn't like that people were using this phrase on their products that are arguably cuter than yours. So you decided that if you can't have the customers, no one can, basically. You wanted to send out those cease and desists and try to convince other people that they could not also sell products that you were selling when they were probably making better products with cuter fonts, cuter designs, and all that stuff. All right, let's be honest here. The other part that I think is interesting is when you get a trademark, you do have to defend it. So she can't sit here saying she wasn't planning on sending out cease and desist. Girl, if you get a trademark, you're supposed to defend it. Otherwise, you're abandoning it. You have to protect your trademark, which means you were aware that you were going to have to tell people to stop selling stuff. So I don't believe her on that either. Sorry. And then the other part of this video that she put out, she values community, guys, over everything. Let's be honest. She values the community's money. She doesn't care about us. She doesn't care about anyone. She doesn't care about the bookish people. She doesn't care about book talk. She doesn't care about bookstagram. She doesn't care about you guys. She cares about the money in your pockets that you're going to spend on her ugly merch. That's what she cares about. She wants you to be so obsessed with the phrase hot girls read that you're going to buy her merch. Which is a choice. You know, I'm sure that there are people who like her merch. I'm sure there are people who it appeals to. Now, I don't think it appeals to everyone. Personally, it doesn't appeal to me. I think it's ugly. I think it's generic. I think it's very boring. I have some opinions about some of this merch. And we'll get to it when I show it. But the thing that I think is funny is she has it in her head that she's in the right here now. And that she's going to make it right by donating all of her profit to some charities. She said profit, not everything she receives, which means, in case you didn't catch it, it means that once she sells her merch to the point of how much money she spent on the merch, then anything after that, even if it's just $1 or €1 or whatever past, that is what she's donating. So say she spent $100 on the merch. She will keep the $100 that she earns from it. And if she earns over that, then she's claiming she'll donate it to charities. Sorry, I can't speak right now. But what she's saying is $100 is hers if that's how much she spent on the merch. And then 101, that $1 will be the charity's dollar. If she only gets $1 more or whatever. And also, she won't donate to charities if she does not break even on her merch purchase. So keep that in mind. If you're thinking, oh, that's so great that she's going to donate to charities, maybe just donate directly to a charity instead of buying her merch, since she's still doing it specifically to make money off of the trademark that she decided was hers when it didn't belong to her in the first place. Let's think about where we're putting our money and think about who we're supporting. Because Allie Rose Co. is in it for the money. She's in it for the cash grab. She likes this phrase because it's kept her business in business for the past 3 years. Because bookish people love the phrase and like having stuff that say it. And so they went for it. And so since she noticed that it was a pretty consistent seller, she stuck with it. But what I've seen online is people saying that she's done this with other communities as well. So, she might be in the bookish community right now, but who's to say she's not going to go and do something to some other fandom or some other community next? So, right now, it's the bookish community, and that's what she is trying really hard to convince that she cares about you. So, if you go to her video, right? The comments on this video, this apology video, they did pass the vibe check. I heard people, well, I didn't hear it. I saw it. I saw people talking about how there were people who were like, "Oh my gosh, Allie, you're so sweet. I'm so sorry that this happened to you. You just made one mistake." A trademark is not a mistake. We do not spend $1,200 to trademark a phrase without ill intent, especially if it's a community phrase and it's very common. So that wasn't a mistake. She did this on purpose. It was not a mistake. She can regret her actions. She can deal with the consequences of her actions. But this was a choice she made. It was not a mistake. Let's not fool ourselves into thinking that it was a mistake. You don't spend $1,200 on a mistake. You don't. Especially not when you have to go through all the filings and getting a lawyer and the paperwork. Yeah, no, this is not a mistake. Not even slightly. So the comments on her video are great. And I'll show you them as I read through them. But these are the ones that I thought were really interesting. They said, so you trademarked a phrase you didn't come up with, but didn't intend to send out cease and desist, but also post it on your story telling small businesses to take down their products ASAP? I just don't believe this is genuine, and immediately calling for people to purchase from your site is wild. I agree. It is wild. Maybe don't be like, oh, please buy my merch right after I did all this stuff. Let's not do that. Saying sorry because you got dragged and now have to lick wounds to keep your business alive? Nah, this is just PR, not an apology, and you didn't surrender it. You had to, as you were challenged. You shouldn't have done it in the first place. I will show you the cancellation petition. Honey Thistle said, let's be real. You weren't expecting the backlash that you rightfully and deservingly got. You expected a celebration. Let's also be honest. This is your way of saving face because you not only lied, but the trademark was challenged. You aren't surrendering it because you shouldn't have filed it to begin with. The apology falls extremely flat. Yes, you're human, but at least be a decent one. I 100% agree. Be a decent one. And then this one was funny. It said, it's giving James Charles apology video. Facts. James Charles is a creature. This one, trademarking something while selling unlicensed merch is wild. I agree. I absolutely agree. Because why are we selling bookmarks based on other people's own IP without you having a license to do so? Because I guarantee you they didn't give you a license. I don't think Taylor Swift said, yes, please use my covers of my albums and use those colors and then use the titles and all this stuff. No, I don't think so. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, but I highly doubt Taylor Swift specifically has a deal with you. And, you know, going off of that, I don't think the authors do either. So, let's maybe not do that. It's giving, I'm sorry you feel that way vibes. Actually, yes, it is giving that. Was the apology in the room with us? I love that one so much because really, was it? Because I didn't see it. There was no apology. This one, womp womp, girl. You didn't get the reaction you thought you would, so now you're backtracking. It is really not clear in this video whether you actually understand why what you did was wrong. And then this one. Let's face the truth. The only reason you were relinquishing it was the termination request, brought receipts you couldn't dispute. The community welcomed you, supported your small business, and you returned that kindness by attempting to claim sole ownership to something that was never yours to begin with. It always has and will continue to belong to the community. Absolutely. Could not have said it better myself. This comment. It's long and valid. So I'm going to read it. It's by Cobalt and Fawn. To the people saying Allie did nothing wrong, I think a lot of you don't fully understand how trademark enforcement works on Etsy. Once she had the trademark, she would have been expected to enforce it. That means sellers using a phrase they had every reason to believe was free to use could receive takedown notices on multiple listings. On Etsy, multiple intellectual property strikes can lead to a shop being permanently suspended. Those sellers wouldn't just lose the affected listings, they could lose their entire business and be barred from opening another Etsy shop. That's why people are upset. The issue isn't just a trademark existing, It's the real consequences it could have had for small sellers who have been using a common phrase in good faith. Absolutely, 100%. I would have been very scared and upset if I had a small Etsy shop or whatever shop and I was selling a bunch of different things that said Hot Girls Read and all of a sudden this happened. So crazy. This person said a half-assed apology for more advertising on your business. It shows that you don't care about anything but business. The right thing would be to take it all down completely. 100% agree. Especially since her merch isn't even good. Let's be honest. The fact that nobody in your life said, hey, this is probably a bad idea, is probably something to reflect on. I agree. Why did no one tell her, maybe you should rethink trademarking that phrase? Was she talking to people about it? Or was she also hiding it from them because she probably knew that they would be against it? Who knows? This one. What about selling all the unlicensed merch you've been selling? Your business strategy was to go ahead and trademark an extremely common phrase that everyone uses and everyone has been using forever and ever? Okay, diva. Yeah. Yeah, no. You were selfish. It was not a business decision. That was you being selfish and showing everyone your true colors. You deserved all that hate, to be honest. And I genuinely hope you've learned your lesson. Unfortunately, your business will forever have this scar. It's possible she'll bounce back. It's possible that people will overlook what happened. Possible people won't even know what happened. So it might bear the scar and it might not. Who knows? I know that the people who are aware of what happened probably won't be buying from her, but that doesn't mean that no one will buy from her. It's possible people will still buy from her. I won't, personally, because I couldn't bear having any of that generic Canva cookie cutter stuff as my clothes, as my wardrobe. Couldn't do it. I think people are confusing accountability with bullying and harassment. Why should any community stay silent when something that is a popular colloquialism known throughout the community for years is suddenly being trademarked and, with love, stop selling products with that saying? Maybe a small portion of it was over the line and rude, but the majority of creators and readers I saw were giving much needed criticism and reality check. I will say there probably were some people who were taking it a little too far, but I don't think that criticizing her choice to do this is wrong. I think it's absolutely okay to criticize people for making really bad, toxic decisions. Decisions that hurt other people are not really good decisions to be making. This one. So, your business strategy was to behave like a corporate conglomerate and just stamp out the small businesses? Cool, cool, cool. And then this one was funny. They said, my trademark, LMAO. And then, my trademark. Yeah, you really learned. I'm surprised by the amount of people in the comments saying she didn't deserve the backlash she got. If the reaction hadn't been so big, then she wouldn't have seen how inappropriate what she did was, and she could have shrugged it off. Trademarking, such a common term that has been used for decades and popularized by black women in recent years, was incredibly offensive. I hope her business can recover, but I think this is what she's going to be known for. It's possible. It's possible she'll be known for this drama. Anyone else cringing at the donation to charity to save face but increase sales? Ick. That's exactly how I feel. Gross. This person said, hi, leave the community. Thanks. I mean, she started reading like 3 years ago. She probably will leave the community soon. Not that I'm saying you can't get into reading, but I don't think she. I think she hopped on a bandwagon of book talk. I think she started reading all the book talk books because she had like ACOTAR bookmarks and stuff like that. So it's like the popularized series that she was like advertising. You know, for some odd reason, I just feel like people who only read like popular book talk books maybe are not super committed to reading. Might just be jumping on like the bandwagon train of, oh, this is popular right now, let's do it. You know, especially since she loves the cash grabs. And then you turn this video into a promotion for buying the merch? Are you kidding me? Absolutely, it's disgusting. Now, we're gonna look at the merch because it needs to be looked at. It needs to be studied how this is her big drop. How this is what she was so excited for people to see. We're not gonna pretend like any of this is cute, alright? Because it's not. It's really not. So, all of her merch is $55 or $25, it looks like. So the crop tops are $25 and the sweatshirts, mock necks, whatever, those are $55. But she has this sweatshirt that's buttery yellow embroidered hot girls read mock neck, and it literally has like the same colored font on it. Basically, it's not good. It's not good. It needs to be another color, girlfriend. Maybe even black, or green, or like something that you can actually see, because you cannot see it in this picture. You can barely see the embroidery. Maybe in person it looks different, but I doubt it. Then we have the varsity letter hot girls read cropped short sleeve tee. Super generic. Boring. A white shirt with some font on it. Wow. Creative. Good design. And then we have the maroon gingham hot girls read mock neck, which maybe had some design efforts in it, but really that font is screaming High School Musical to me. It just is gingham instead of like the show lights. But I wouldn't wear that either. So, the gray varsity letter hot girls read mock neck, it's not good, guys. It's not good. Look at this. And then we have the badge hot girls read cropped tee. And it's literally just a tiny little blue square on the shirt that says hot girls read. That's it. That's all it is. How is that good? I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not the target audience, obvious, because I would never. When this apology came out, I was looking through threads because that's where I saw the notifications for it first. And I saw a bunch of different posts. They wanted people to understand that this is not real. She does not mean it. She is not sorry. She went back to lick her wounds a little bit and to decide how she could possibly bounce back from this. And how she could bounce back from this was claiming that she's going to donate to charities by selling her merch, by people buying her merch. She's not sorry. Little Riding Dragon said, Allie Roscoe is not sorry. She wasn't sorry when she decided to use a popular phrase in her business, which is fine to an extent. She wasn't sorry when she spent her $300 to trademark the phrase. She wasn't sorry when she stole a phrase that originated from black women. She wasn't sorry when she made a public post threatening small businesses to shut down any listings related to the said phrase. She wasn't sorry for attempting to shut multiple small businesses down, and she's not sorry now. If you weren't affected by her actions, then you have no say in whether the apology is fine or accepted or whatever. She harmed so many people, and you're ignorant if you think her lousy apology can fix the harm she's done. Allie deserved the backlash she got. Calling the book community toxic and vile while supporting a white woman who stole a popular phrase from black women and then threatened to shut down many small businesses is hypocritical. It absolutely is. Diario della Bella said, a very half-assed apology. Coming from a business girly, she didn't care about the book community at all. She just wanted profit, hence why it was a business move. She wanted to cut off the competition via trademarking the term hot girls read. If you still support and defend this woman, don't bother in being my mutual. Also, I'll be donating all profits. Yeah, she wants you to feel bad and support her business so she can make the money back after she donates a small amount. Author Michelle Cahill, who is the one who did the cancellation petition, some of y'all's parents never taught you apologies don't immediately rectify situations, and that sometimes you just have to live with the consequences, and it shows. You can try to smooth out a crumpled piece of paper all you want, but there will still be creases. And the people replying to her said, donate all the profits from your land merch. We still won't forget. And this one said, not everyone has to accept your apology. This person had commented on her video, her apology video, and said, but what was the business strategy? I'm confused because Hot Girls Read is not your brand, so there was no reason for you to even attempt to trademark the phrase. Nothing about this action shows community. I also think some accountability on the hypocrisy of trademarking this common phrase while you were actively selling unlicensed merch at the same time is warranted, because that is a terrible look for a business. Absolutely. This person, what Chelsea reads lately, apparently has blocked Allie Roscoe, and they said, I'm telling y'all right now, if I unblock Allie Roscoe to see her newest video and I see you in the comments saying people were too mean to you, you didn't deserve that, I am unfollowing you so fast. She made a calculated choice and learned the hard way. She got the consequences of her own actions after she tried to screw over thousands of small businesses in an already tumultuous economic climate. Where was their grace? There wasn't. They received messages to remove their designs instead. It's actually crazy. Yeah, apparently people were in her comments acting like she was bullied into giving up the trademark. Girl, the trademark was never hers and it was never going to stay hers. It was going to be considered abandoned if she wasn't sending out cease and desists. Asia Archer said, people not understanding the fact that she's donating the profits of her new Hot Girls Read merch in an attempt to recoup her investment is crazy. No money will be donated until she makes back what she spent on the merch, and no one was going to buy the merch because of her greed. But now, Michelle Cahill said if she actually reports taxes, that donation from selling her merch is just going to be a tax write off. Both Room to Read and Read to Feed are verified tax exempt nonprofits. Just saying. I mean, she would be donating if she ends up making the money that she spent on the merch back, but like it'll be write offs. She's not really going to be hurting for money or anything like that. This person said, well, if there's one thing to learn about the Hot Girls Read saga, it is perhaps that the entire book community can indeed be united and mobilized behind one cause. It even reached my like crochet and knitting creators that I follow because those are the communities that I'm mostly in. This is from Mrs. Moonheaven. Trademarking basic sayings is tacky, and sending cease and desist to small businesses as a small business owner especially is just greedy behavior. For those of you who haven't heard, a small business owner prominent in the book community trademarked the saying Hot Girls Read, a common saying which stems from AAVE. By the way, we're talking about a white woman that has been used by other small businesses even before her, on a bunch of very specific products, including but not limited to bookmarks, stickers, book covers, t shirts, and sweatshirts. I don't want this post to come off as me attacking one specific person, nor should you go to her page and say anything or harass her in any type of way, but rather raise important talking points to something really huge happening in the community. This is the type of behavior you expect from big companies, not from another small business. We're all trying to make it out here, and it's hard to see this coming off as anything but greedy. It's one thing to trademark something original and unique that belongs to you. Sure, but this isn't one of those things. What do you think? P.S. I realized only while already knitting that maybe I should have not used that yellow because it was too close to the yarn color, but all the beads were already threaded on, so I just rolled with it. Oh well, you get it. And if it's hard to read, it says hot girls aren't greedy, and I'll say it again. And this is the picture of the knit that she had done for the post. It says hot girls aren't greedy. I like it. It looks really good. And she did a good job, as usual. Jamie B. Golden said, pro tip, if you're in an online crisis, always hire a crisis PR professional to wade you through it. Max out 2 credit cards if you have to. Someone like Molly McPherson would have told you many wise things, starting with don't try to recoup your merch-based costs in the middle of an apology. Absolutely. It's going to make your apology worthless. Natty Light said the apology was so she can come back to social media and sell her stuff, by the way. The donating to charity is so she can seem remorseful while not actually taking accountability for anything. That being said, this game is so tired in this space. People are constantly doing and saying some stuff, then they ghost for a bit, after offer an apology, and hope it's swept under the rug until someone else does another stupid thing. It's a never-ending cycle. It's bad. Stop doing bad stuff, guys. Ashley Rumbarger said, I fear that Allie's apology fell short. She's claiming she did not send messages to small businesses and she's still promoting her HDR merch, but using it as a all profits will go to charity. Like, it's giving, at least to me, the brush off and deflection, but that's just in my opinion. It's crazy. It's literally crazy, guys. I just don't understand how we could possibly be okay with this. It's very bad. It's a bad situation to be in. It's not good. We should never have even had to deal with this in the first place, guys. Come on. So, I will show you the cancellation petition. This is what Michelle Cahill was, working on and raising the money for. And so we had the petition and it happened. I'm not showing the actual petition. That's not important. This is the confirmation page that says that she voluntarily surrendered its registration. So Allie Roseco voluntarily surrendered it. So that's a huge win. And people are very happy about it. But it's too little too late. She should just never have trademarked it in the first place. At least that's my perspective on it. I just don't understand even trying to trademark that. I guess she never would have learned without it, maybe? I don't know. At least she surrendered it. And this is the follow up video, right? So we had the video talking about how she had trademarked it and everyone reacting to it, and how there was like a petition to cancel it, and we were raising money for that, and all good. And now we have the confirmation that it's been canceled. She surrendered it, but then she made it worse by making an apology video telling you to buy her merch. So that's ultimately what has happened, and it doesn't seem like she's getting any more popular. Her followers went down from like 64K to, so she was at 64.2K, I think, when I first saw all of the stuff about the trademark, and now she is down to 62.6K. And she took out the thing in her bio that said she had trademarked Hot Girls Read, which is good. You should. You should take that out of your bio. It's not yours. You did not own it. And no one was gonna let you own it anyway. It's just a wild situation, if we're gonna be so honest about this. But I thought it was really fascinating, and I figured that I would go ahead and make my follow up video, since I had made my first one like kind of right after it had all happened. So none of this had happened quite yet, and this is my first time that I'm actually able to record about this. So I'm glad if you stuck with me through this video. I'm glad you were able to be here and listen to my perspective and some other people's reactions and perspectives on it as well. I hope that this shed more light on it for you. There are way better Hot Girls Read merch out there, so please, by all means, go look for it. You can find a lot of different Hot Girls Read stuff online as well. There's also a lot that has now said Hot Girls Read, like books, Hot Girls Reject Gatekeeping. There's like a whole new world of like Hot Girls Read phrases that are coming out because of this situation. So we just need to understand that in the future, if we ever think of doing something that might hurt other people, maybe we should rethink that. Maybe we should go back to the drawing board and be like, is this actually worth it? Should I do this? Because it's probably a no. It's probably a no, especially if it's not your phrase that you own. But that's how I feel. That is how other people feel. And, you know, just be a good person, please. And, other small businesses also deserve to have a chance, not just yours, just because you're using Canva to make generic merch. Yeah, good times, guys. Good times. But I appreciate you being here for this and watching this video. If you made it all the way through, thank you very much. I appreciate the time you spent with me. I hope you follow and subscribe and are interested in more coming from me. I typically do crochet or some sort of craft content, mostly crochet at this point in time, but we will be branching out to do other things. So stay tuned. But I promise next week will be my crochet keychain video. I promise. I'm going to bring all the keychain stuff I need on my trip that I'm going with my family on, and I will get those keychains done and posted. So I will talk to you later. And I hope you subscribe and like and, leave a comment if you have any opinions on what's going on here. Whether you agree or disagree, like, let me know how you feel. I'm interested to hear other perspectives. But until then, until I see you next time, just be good. Be good. Be a good person. Please don't trademark stuff that you don't own. Okay? Okay. Okay, thanks. Bye.